So what you need today to make these flowers is to make the leaves, you need a little 3-inch paper. To make the flower, you need a 6-inch paper. And if you want to make an inside, like a contrasting inside, make a 3-inch. So let's say if I make, there we go. This is probably the better combination here. So this would be this is the flower, that's the inside, and that's the leaf. That's all you need to make this. A little bit of glue, if you have that, would be also good. I'm going to do it with this because I haven't tried making the flower with this. I think it'd be fun. The double-sided paper, which is nice because it has the color on the inside already. When you make the flower with single-sided paper, you'll have white showing on these little parts here. So, you know, it's not a horrible thing. White's fine, but if you want to have different colors, you can use double-sided paper. So let's start with the flower. And this one is actually, I believe it's a traditional flower. Oh, somebody's coming in. We got Val coming in. Okay. So since I'll do it with this one. Okay, and then we'll just do it like this. And this is a pretty easy flower. Hi Val, nice to see you. We're getting started. We have a 6-inch paper and a 3-inch paper for the leaf and a 3-inch paper for the inside. If you do decide to make an inside for the flower, it does give it more dimension. So we're going to get started. So we're going to start with the flower first, and I'm going to use this paper here just so that you can kind of, it's probably easier to see what I'm doing anyway. So what you want to do is start with your color side down on the table, and you're going to fold it in half in both directions. Just get that those ends to match, and then I crease. So I'm going to fold this, take this, and turn it, and fold it in the opposite direction. And now we have these folds. So now fold a valley folds to the center of that, right into that middle part right there. And just bring all 4 corners to that center point. Okay, now we got all 4 corners. And if there's a little bit off, like all my corners look pretty good, but then this one's a little off, it doesn't really matter normally in this one, but sometimes it does in other models. And usually you can just kind of adjust that slightly, and then you can kind of get it so that everything is nice and centered down in that middle there. So now we're going to just take the same 4 corners and fold them to the center, we don't need to turn it over or anything. We're just folding another time right to the center. And I think this paper is going to look really nice because it's going to have that rose look with that airbrushed kind of look. So that's going to be fun. And this paper is from Ito. You can find them on, oh boy, I'm sure they're at retailers, but I'm sure that if you Google Ito, this paper is, I believe it's called Harmony. It's a double-sided paper, which I really like. So now I'm going to just take these corners I just folded. I'm going to fold them backwards, but I'm going to just fold them back. It's about, I don't know how far that is, but I've got about a 3/4 of an inch overhang on this point overhangs. Now I'm going to gauge the rest of my folds based on this fold. So, or the rest of my folding. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to fold that one out. But now that I have this one first done, I'm just going to match the same, basically make these corners meet. And then I'm just going to fold it back and crease, just folding it backwards. And I'm going to do this on all 4 sides. And it doesn't have to be perfect because it is a flower, and flowers have their imperfections, and their petals are all different. But this is how you get the same consistent size by just matching these corners, the outermost corners, to each other. So now I've got those. I mean, this is such an easy thing. I feel guilty about it. It's so easy. Now we're going to fold these corners that are like little flaps. They're going to go, they're just going to be folded backwards, just kind of right to meet this here. And mine are a little off, but that's going to be fine. So that's why I like this color being on the inside, because now I have another color, which is really nice. Makes it really nice. So we've got these. Now this is the fold, that's it, but you can leave it like this, and you could put a picture inside, a little quote. You can just insert it like a little frame, you know, this becomes a little frame. I've actually in the past, I've hung a little string up here, and this is the frame. I just put things in it. So, but that's that's actually a very common fold, and by itself it's pretty, but we're going to kind of make it more like a rose, sort of. We're going to shape the petals a little bit, like these corners, these four outer corners here, or the bottom corners basically. You're going to just fold those backwards just a little bit. Like I just probably want to curve that corner just a tiny bit on all four sides. It's probably it's less than a half an inch. It's a little tiny, just a little corner that I'm just folding backwards. And that will give it a slightly more petal-like shape. You can do that on all four. So when you see how it rounds it out, it kind of looks nice. You can do the same thing on this one if you want. I'm going to leave this though. I kind of like the pointed, but if you want to, you can do all four. I mean, just for fun, I'm going to do this just to see, because I've actually never done these corners. I've never rounded the other ones, but I want to see how it looks. If it looks better, this is a good time to try something. All those little corners and see what happens. Actually, I like that. I like it that it's curved, it's sort of rounded out on all four. I think that makes it a little bit better. Now to make the center, if we want to just add a little more depth and dimension, we could leave it like that, but let's do another. We fold it exactly the same way. We're just going to fold it with the white side up. You fold the paper, you fold it in half in one direction, open it, and fold it in half in the other direction. Now this is the 3-inch piece of paper. We're going to fold all four corners to the center. And boy, this one's off. I must have not cut this paper square. It does not look square. I can see that right now. So I'm going to grab a little paper cutter and cut it, because I just realized it is absolutely not square. So it's, oh boy. So that says 3 inches. This is, oh yeah, way not square. So I was about 1/8 of an inch off. And then if that happens to you, 1/8 of an inch is going to make a big difference in your shape, you know, and how it works. So now I can fold these in half in both directions. And then when I do the center, when I put the points to the center, it should work a lot better. You can always, it's so important to have perfectly square paper when you're folding. So let's fold all the points to the center. Yep, there, now it's better. And now I'm going to take the same just fold it another time to the center. Yeah, all four, and these don't have to be perfect. This paper is a lot thicker than what I just folded, so it's a little harder to manage, but I'm able to get it. Now I can see my points are not really perfect, but that's okay. So it happens. So now I have these, and I'm going to do the same thing I did with this one. I'm just going to fold these little corners back. It's kind of at a whatever end, kind of whatever enough to have that point sticking out. And then just fold those back on all four sides. So you have a miniature version of the other one. The first one, and then we're going to fold these flaps that are kind of loose here. We're going to fold those backwards. Now I have a little small half-size version of the first rose. So I've got it here, and it's a little natural looking. It kind of looks organic to me. So now we've got this one. So all we need to do is to take, you'll see there these little, you just lift these little pockets here and just put those 4 points into the pocket. You'll see that they just kind of slide in just by lifting, gently lifting. Now you can just kind of turn them wherever you want them. Like if you, there we are. So there's the rose. So I've got a really pretty rose, I think. Now I do like the curved one better. So when you see on this one, I mean, they're all nice, but I just think it's kind of fun. These, I left the point and this has the curve. I just think it's a matter of what you want to do. It's your choice on that. Now to do the leaf, and I'm going to show you the way that, it's a new way, that the other way was not this way. So I'm going to show you. So now you have your, I think this is square. I'm going to check it though. Kind of looks slightly off to me. Yeah, it was slightly, nope, it was square enough. I just made it smaller. So I'm going to fold it in half diagonally. Now I'm opening the fold and I'm going to fold these long edges to the center, kind of like in a kite shape to make it look like a kite. Make a nice point. Now turn it over so that the solid side is facing you. Solid side up, and then take these short ends and fold those to the center. Boy, is it windy outside. I think the house is going to blow away. I don't know how your weather is. Boy, wind today. Okay, so now I'm folding those. So I've got this side solid, this side has that open edge. And if I turn it over, you'll see the open edge here, and this is solid. So now we're going to just fold down at an angle, just kind of you'll see, you'll make this, basically this edge here will lay right over. You can see I'm just laying it right over there. Now I have a beautiful leaf. I can change the angle however I want my leaf to be, but I like that these are open like this. And then what you do is you just take your glue and decide where you want to put your leaf. You can have it anywhere you want on your flower, and you can just glue it to basically you just need to glue it to your rose, and that's that. So if you take, what I like to do is put a little glue on the edges of my flower because I don't want them poking up or poking into anything. So I'm just putting a little bit of glue here. And then I'm going to take a little glue and attach that's a lot of glue. Then I'm going to put a little bit on this here, on this side, a lot. It's okay. And then I'm going to just take find where I want to put this. I think it's going to look really nice right there. And then you just need to hold just press down a little bit so that you get the glue will bond to the paper. And however you do that, you could use clips or just holding it for a little bit. I did put a lot of glue in here, so it might take a little longer than normal. But that's how you make the rose, and it's just so easy. Now this would be so much fun on top of a present, or like in hair, or putting that little clip to make a little brooch. I think these would be really cute on hats or on headbands or anything like that. So that is our rose.